give me the Webster's definition of blackish. I guess I'll start with you, Kenya.
Larry. No, we kind of worked on this a lot. We feel like it is a very inclusive word that sort of deals with, we feel like we're living in a society right now where there's a lot of homogeny. We're kind of Latino-ish, we're kind of whitish, we're kind of blackish.
White-esque.
White-esque. It deals with our main character, who Anthony Anderson plays so wonderfully. It deals with our main character's way of looking at his children who are growing up in this homogenized world. The way he sees them is that they're not quite his definition of what his kids were, or of what black was when he was growing up. They're sort of blackish. And then at the same way, there's an additive way of looking at it, is that everyone else is a little bit, they've taken a little bit of everything we've given to culture and added to who they are. And they're a little bit blackish. And that's the society of kids that he's raising. And that's where the word came from. We felt like everyone is sort of an aggregate of everyone else.
It's the grape soda eating of America.
My son came home at 12 years old and said, "Dad, I don't feel black." I was like, "What do you mean you don't feel black, son?" And we sat down and had this conversation. It just blew my mind that I'm having with my 12-year-old son, because his black struggle in our privileged, suburban world is a lot different than the black struggle that I had when I was growing up in Compton. Not only was my son the only chocolate drop in his class, he was the only chocolate drop in his grade for a few years in his school. And so I understood where he was coming from with that. And then he understood where I come from and our history. And then at the end of that conversation, he told me that he wanted to have a bar mitzvah for his 13th birthday. And I looked at him and I said, "Oh, so you really aren't black, are you?" and then I said, "Okay, we came to a compromise." So I threw him a hip-hop bro mitzvah. I trademarked the name, and what you see on that screen just scratches the surface of what we really did. Yeah. So when when Kenya came to me with the pitch, and then he wrote this script, it couldn't have been any truer to life than what it was.
Do you see there a difference between the idea of a show about a black family versus a family that happens to be black? I mean, I feel like you use that same terminology. And
it's like, he's saying the same thing, basically. I mean, it's a family, and it's 3 generations of a family, and there are, millions and millions of people who have come through this country, and generations do, generationally, they do better as they go. I mean, that's the dream. Yeah. That's what we're all supposed. That's all the programming that we all get as Americans.
Get pulled over by the police and say, "Oh, I just happen to be black."
And then there's that.
Yeah, there you go. Very good. We didn't know that. We never would have pulled you over.